Hello guys, welcome back to Anthony's prank channel. Today we're doing the robbing a bank and executing the hostages prank on the police. We're in Uvalde. I don't fucking know. How we doing, guys? Hold on, I haven't organized myself at all here, which is typical of me, I guess you know by now. But how we doing? I'm so fucking tired, guys. I have not been sleeping at night. I go to bed at like 11 and I'm genuinely exhausted and ready to bed and I just can't fucking sleep. But it is what it is, I suppose. This week's been really busy and I think I've just been probably a bit stressed. I get overwhelmed easily. It's like one of my worst traits. It's fucking annoying. Like and then I'll get overwhelmed at something and I'm angry at myself for getting overwhelmed. So it's just a plethora of emotions that are all negative. But it is what it is. Yeah, been a busy week. I worked. I went to Sydney to do a video shoot. I was doing some content for a betting company that I've been writing for. So your boy's a paid actor now, and I don't want to say that I deserve an Oscar, but it'd be pretty fucking stupid of them to not give me an Oscar if you catch my drift, But yeah, I went to Sydney. What else? I went to the footy yesterday, Collingwood versus Geelong qualifying final. And just other shit, making some content, writing some shit, writing some jokes, doing some stand-up comedy, the usual shit that I do, I guess. But yeah, I had a gig from hell on Friday. Friday, we do this gig. I think I've spoken about it before. It's at the back of a fucking bottle shop. And it's just like literally like a bottle shop. They sell alcohol there. And at the back, for whatever reason, they've got like this empty space. And we put like a stage in and we do stand up there. And it's a fucking disaster nearly every time. You know what? That's a lie. It's actually alright sometimes, but this night was a disaster. I got there. It's a sign up show, So you gotta fucking get there, you sign up, and then you sit there for 6 hours waiting to get on, and you're just talking to your friends like, oh, I wonder what jokes we should do tonight. I have this new joke about molesting children I want to try. Tell me what you think about it. So, I don't have a premise, but the punchline is, and he deserved it. What do you reckon? Don't do it? It's not funny? Oh, okay. Fuck. Thought it was funny. Damn. Just this for hours. And yeah, so I get there. The crowd's dead. The crowd's dead. Everyone's bombing, which it wasn't there was good comics on, and everyone they were just bombing. The crowd was not into it at all. It's just a fucking dead gig, and people were leaving. They were like, "There's no point doing this. I'm fucking going home. I'm going out. Whatever the fuck." And I stayed because I'm dedicated to the craft. All right, I'm not a little bitch who's gonna just leave. Nah, I should have left. Fuck, why did I get a block? I haven't had a blocked nose all day, and then I record and I got a blocked nose. Anyways. After the break, we're in, and I don't know what happened. I went to the toilet. Everything was normal. I came out of the toilet, and the MC's having an argument with this guy in the front row. There's this lady heckling. There's two other ladies heckling. It was a fucking disaster. It was just this woman, she lives up the road, which I think she does because she's been at this gig a few times here in the audience, just gets catastrophically drunk, drunk auntie, but not the fun drunk auntie, the why did we invite a drunk auntie? What the fuck? I was got attacked by a fucking cum ghost and my throat got all fucked up. Yeah, not the fun drunk auntie, we gotta stop inviting her to stuff. She's always embarrassing everyone, auntie. And she's just heckling. She's arguing with the comedians. It was one of those things guys, the night was so fucked that when we were when we were leaving, I turned to my friends who I was there with and I was like, we can't even retell this story because nothing, no retelling of it will do it justice to how fucked the night was. But yeah, there's this lady who's on a mobility scooter. She's getting drunk as fuck. She's heckling. There was an Asian chick in the front row who she kept heckling every comedian that came on, but it wasn't heckling where you could go along with it. They'd just be a comedian would set up a premise. They'd be like, Oh, so I was, at the post office the other day. And she'd be like, why? Well, at the post office. And she just kept doing that. And it got to the point where everyone just started being racist to her and just started making a bunch of like Asian jokes. And then she didn't know which part of Asia she was from. Evidently, she was like adopted or some shit. And then so it was just every Asian race was just copping it at this open mic on Friday night. She was copying it. Like people were going up, comedians were going up on stage, and literally they couldn't do their bits because they were just getting yelled at. And then there was this, like, the girl at the start of the show, the Asian girl. She was sitting with this one guy at the front, and we were all like, "Oh, this is her boyfriend." And then so we're attacking the boyfriend, like your girlfriend's fucking annoying. Why did you bring her here? Blah blah blah. And then she goes, "That's fine." And she moves, and she sits with this other guy on the other seat and starts cuddling up with him. And we were all like, "What the fuck is happening?" She was also drunk, by the way. And then the lady in the mobility scooter who's heckling everyone, she was the the most annoying one, because the Asian chick, I think she was trying to be malicious. She was trying to piss off the comedians. So that wasn't a big deal because people are used to that shit. But the one on the mobility scooter, she was generally just drunk as fuck. She starts telling us, hey, she got abused by her ex-boyfriend and shit. It was really fucking weird. And like, I remember I went up and I did a joke about autism. And I didn't even get into the joke. I just mentioned autism, and the Asian goes, how fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? And I was like, what? And she's like, you really gonna do this? And I was like, yeah, I am. I've waited 6 hours to do this. I'm gonna do it, yeah. And then she goes, okay, do the joke. And I'm doing the joke, and the whole time she's just fucking yelling. And the two guys at the front are like, dude, we want to do the joke. We want to hear it. They were kind of into it. And she's like, do the joke. And then I do the joke. She gets offended by it. She goes, what the fuck? Oh my God, what the fuck? Are you fucking serious? And I was like, yeah, I'm serious. Just let me do my fucking jokes. And then the drunk lady is trying to yell out also, but she's so drunk she can't even formulate a sentence. So the Asian chick's just going, I can't. There are 3 women here. And I was like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? And she's like, this is a patriarchal a fucking comedy night, and you're gonna do this autism joke. And I was like, what the fuck did being a woman have to do with autism? Can only women be autistic in your mind? What's the deal? So fucking stupid. And then this the third lady, she had just come and she'd realized what was going on, and she was just like, this is entertaining. So she just sat down and she sided with the other 2 girls who were pretty much having an argument with these comedians. But she was just doing it out of love for the game, She was just like, this is a situation I can enjoy. It's a Friday night. And she was having a blast. And I knew she was just chilling. Because when there was times when the comedian was getting to a full-on war of words with the ladies in the audience. It wasn't even a comedy night at this point. It was just fucking people arguing with people on a stage. She'd add to the argument. She'd add fuel to the fire. And then she'd look at me and be like, what are you going to do? So it's funny. I respected that woman the most out of anybody there. And my friend Jake, he's a comedian as well. He'd already been up, so he just sided with the girls just because it was funny. Every time she was like, "This is a patriarchal thing," he was like, "Yes, you're right, sister. You're so spot on." It's fucking hilarious. And then one of the comedians went on and started flirting with the Asian chick. So. Fuck off. Okay, anyways. Started flirting with the Asian chick. And then he thought he was going to get in. So he's talking to her after the show, right? He's talking to her after the show. And then he's trying to go back to her place with her. Turns out she's in a throuple with the 2 guys. The 2 guys are bisexual. She's straight. And all 3 of them fuck each other. And then they invite this guy to go. But the condition was the guys had to fuck him. So he said no. And he comes up to us. He explains the situation. He's all cut up about it. He goes, I don't want to get fucked, dude. I'm not going to get fucked. It was wild. And then a bunch of random guys came and offered us weed. And I said no because I don't do that shit, But my friend did it. And they went to this alleyway. And then they're in the alleyway and these cops walk past. And then I had this bright idea. I'm like, we should... Because the lady had the mobility scooter. I'm like, we should ash the joint and plant the roach in her mobility scooter. so that when she drives off, those cops pull her over. Oh, so evil. I love it. It was such a fucking good idea. We didn't do it because one of the ladies that worked at the bottle shop came out and was like, "You can't drive this mobility scooter. You're way too drunk." And she was like, I'm fine. And then she had to sober up. And then it was one of those things like, bro, it was like 12:30 and all I wanted to do was sleep. But I was like, if I leave, I'm going to miss something, you know? And then I went to the car park and there was people shooting heroin in the car park. It was eventful. It was an eventful night. So that was Friday. And then this is how I should do the podcast from now on. I should go my days of the week because I always do shit and I'm like, oh, I didn't talk about this. Days of the week is smart. So that was Friday. Saturday I worked, uneventful. Sunday I worked, uneventful. Monday I worked, uneventful. Tuesday I worked, uneventful. Wednesday I have a meeting. I have my other job. I write for like a betting company. I write the videos and stuff. Picklebet, look it up. I write those videos. I write for them and they were like, "Oh, we want to get you in a shoot," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, that sounds like a plan." So they're like, "All right, we'll fly you out to Sydney whenever the fuck, and we'll set up a shoot day, and you can do a bunch of videos with John, who's the other guy, John Bernard. You probably know him." And I was like, "Yeah, sick." But they forgot to like book my flights. So John calls me. He's like, "Hey, they haven't booked your flights. Do you want to come up tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So they booked for me to go. So on Wednesday, they booked for me to go to Sydney on Thursday morning. At like, I think my flight was 6 a.m. So I had to get up at like 4. And I was so anxious about not sleeping because I've been having trouble sleeping. I was so anxious about not sleeping that it took I fucking loaded myself with nighttime tablets, like drowsiness tablets, so that I'd fall asleep. And then what happened was I fell asleep at like 9, and I was like, "This is perfect," because I wake up at 4, and that's like a good sleep. I wake up at 9, and then my sister gets home from where the fuck she is at like 11:30 and makes a fuck ton of noise, which wakes me up. But I wake up thinking it's 4 a.m. and I'm like wide awake. And I'm like, "This is I'm a genius." All I had to do was drug myself to be able to sleep. That's so healthy. Then I checked the time. It was like 11:30, and I was like, "Fuck, God, fucking damn it." So I just couldn't get back to sleep until like 1:30, and I slept from 1:30 to 4, and I went to the airport. I got a 6 a.m. flight. I was like a zombie in the airport. I was just walking like eyes were peeled like this. I was just like, I'm surprised I didn't get on the wrong flight, honestly. I was so fucking tired. And then I was on the plane. And so I've been watching Lost, right? Which, if you don't know, is a TV series about like a plane crashing on a deserted island and the people having to live on the island. And I'm in my seat. And I'm just thinking about that. And I'm like, that'd be so fucking cool if the plane crashed and I landed on an island. That'd be awesome. That'd be so fucking cool. And then my brain was like, "You're an idiot. You don't want that at all. You just want to land in Sydney and then go about your life normally." And I was like, "Yeah, true. What am I thinking?" Though it would be fucking sick to live on an island, make my own way. And then my brain goes, "You dickhead, you're gonna miss your family." I go, "That is true. I do love my family. Fuck. It'd still be fucking sick. It'd still be fucking awesome to do." Do you ever like welcome a tragedy? Like, you know that shit when you're in class and you're like, "All right, if an active shooter comes in, here's how I'm going to save everyone." This was me on the plane. And then my brain was like, Anthony, if the plane does crash, you're going to die. That's what happens. People don't survive plane crashes. And I was like, "Yeah, true. But if I did, it would be fucking sick. Would be fucking awesome. Could live off the land. I'd learn to fish." And then my brain was like, "Anthony, even if you crash and somehow don't die, you have no survival skills at all." And I was like, that's true. And I'm looking around the plane and I'm like, that guy looks like he has survival skills. I can learn off him. And my brain's like, "Anthony, you're an idiot. There's no way both of you survive." I was like, true. But if we did, it would be fucking sick. And then my brain was like, okay, let's say you do crash and you do survive, right? You're addicted to your phone. As soon as your phone's done, you're gonna have to like live a normal life without your phone. And I was like, true. I'm addicted to my phone. But it would be fucking sick. I could just learn how to live a normal life, I'd probably be less stressed, you know? All I'd have to worry about was the food and survival and shelter. I could do that. And my brain was like, Anthony, just think. What if you fall over, cut your knee, gets infected, you die? I'm like, that's true. The risk of infection is high. But it would be fucking sick. It would be fucking awesome to survive on a deserted island. It would be fucking so cool. My brain was like, Anthony, you don't know how to hunt. And I was like, yeah, true. I don't know how to hunt. But it would be fucking awesome. I could just pick papayas and mangoes and shit and live off those. I'd be so healthy. I'd have the best shape. When I eventually got rescued, I'd be like a fucking Calvin Klein model. It would be fucking awesome. And my brain was like, Anthony, you would die literally within a few days. You don't know anything about fruits or nature. You don't know what's poisonous. You don't know anything. And I was like, that is true. But it would be fucking sick to learn all that shit, you know? Like, what if there was a guide there? Like the shit from Into the Wild. Is that the movie with Emil Hirsch? Where, it would be fucking sick. And then I was thinking, I was going further into the plot of Lost. And I was like, what if everything on the island is interconnected to my life? That'd be fucking sick. And then my brain was like, Anthony, stop. The world doesn't revolve around you. This isn't some bullshit ploy to get you to crash on an island and save the world. And I was like, yeah, true. But it would be fucking sick. And then we hit some mad turbulence. And I was like, oh God, please no. Please fucking no. I want to live. I don't want to crash on the island. But yeah, and then I landed in Sydney. John picked me up from the airport. Sydney airport's so much simpler to get out of than Melbourne. Not really. You just gotta follow the signs. Don't worry. I'm sleep deprived. But it would be fucking sick to crash land on an island. Jumping off from the airport, we got breakfast. I did the shoot. The shoot was actually fun. I was a bit nervous about proper acting. There's a fucking green screen, lights, a director and shit. And I was really nervous about it. But the people on set, the people at the company, Picklebet, are so relaxed and laid back, and they put a lot of trust into me and John to just create something funny. And it wasn't a lot of hands-on stuff. It wasn't when you guys watch a brand deal and you're like, fuck, this is shit. It wasn't like that at all, because it wasn't whenever you do a brand deal on TikTok, should I say this? No brand's going to fucking watch this. The reason they're all bad is because, right, what always happens is they'll hit you up and they'll be like, oh, we love your stuff. We'd love you to do, one of your thing. And then you go, oh yeah, I have this format of video that I could do that would work really well with advertising the product. And they're like, great, love it. Send us through, a script type thing. And then we'll okay it. And then, so you send them through the script and they're like, love it. This is great. Then they give you the little bullshit rules. You can't wear other branded shit. This is your contract. You can't do all this stuff. Can't swear. Can't be racist. All that stuff. And then you make the video and you send it to them. And this is them every time. Love it. Could you just get rid of all the bits that are funny and make it shit? Could you do that for us? And you're like, I don't really want to do that. This is going on my account. And they're like, yeah, but if you don't do it, we're not going to pay you. And I'm like, I'm a money hungry whore. So, of course I'll make it shit. And then you post a piece of shit video. And then everyone watching it is like, I don't think anyone watches a brand deal and is like, oh, I wonder what this product is. It's like, oh yeah, Anthony must need money for something. No one takes it fucking seriously. But these guys are the best. Even with writing for them, they're super chill with what they let go. They're very lenient. They let me and John do whatever the fuck we want. They're great. They're really great to work with. And the shoot was awesome. So much fun. So fucking fun. We got lunch, blah, blah, blah. And then I flew back out. I was flying out and I was like, wouldn't it be fucking sick if the plane crashed? No, I wasn't thinking that the second time. You know what I was actually doing? I was listening to Fire and Blood, which is the book House of the Dragon is based on. Entertaining as fuck book. It's so good because the way the book's written is it's not presented as a story from a character's point of view, or there's no narrator or anything like that, where it's like stuff's inferred and you got to read into it. It's written like it's a historical text. So you can just listen to it, and it's just like you're being given information about this fictional world. It was actually fucking awesome to listen to. I'm keen to listen to some more. But yeah, so I got back Thursday night, slept for a fucking ages on Friday, and then did nothing Friday, did nothing. Oh, Saturday I went to the footy. I went to the qualifying final between Collingwood and Geelong. Great game. The atmosphere was amazing. It was the second game of footy I've been to this year. And I was a bit apprehensive about going, right? Because you guys know watching footy is my job. So like watching footy feels like work to me. And I was just feeling disgusting. Like my ear still hadn't popped from the plane. I had a headache. I was sleep deprived. I just genuinely felt like I had like a bug or something. But I had a great time at the footy. I went with my dad and my sister. And yeah, the atmosphere was great. Collingwood played really well. Geelong won in the end, which is what it is. But great game. It was like great to be at a finals game. I haven't been to a finals game in ages. A fantastic atmosphere. I thought Collingwood were the better team. I thought we were the better team. Not like saying Geelong didn't deserve to win. I don't like to blame the umpires. So I'm not gonna be like, if the umpires were better, Collingwood would have won. But I felt like there was a lot of harsh decisions against us. Like a lot of our really good tackles just weren't rewarded. A lot of our really good tackles just weren't rewarded. So, it is what it is, I guess. There's nothing you can do about it. But I felt like, I just felt like the umpiring was really bad. It was very one-sided. It was just very one-sided. Ginnivan didn't get anything. Which, is stupid. Like, Ginnivan has said himself, and it's clear he's based his game on Joel Selwood. But Joel Selwood was getting all the free kicks that Ginnivan's not getting. And it's like, what's the difference? If you're going to be punished one for playing for the free kick, you may as well punish the other. That didn't make much sense to me. But yeah, Collingwood got Freo next week in the semi-final. I'm looking forward to that. I think we have a good chance to beat Freo. If not, I'm not too upset. Obviously, I want us to go as far and win, but we've had a great season. A lot of people predict us to come bottom 4. So to come 4th, to only lose by a goal against Geelong, and then, that's a good season. If you had told us that was like what we're going to get at the start of the season, every Collingwood fan would have been like, yeah, please. That sounds like a great season. So I'm really keen. Melbourne were my favourites to win. I thought Melbourne were going to walk the finals, but they got smashed by Sydney. So yeah, honestly, I think Sydney makes the grand final, because I'm pretty sure, if I've got it correctly, they will play the winner of Collingwood versus Fremantle at the SCG. And I think they beat both teams at the SCG. So it's looking like it's going to be a Sydney final, and whoever Geelong plays, because Geelong won't win a prelim. I'm calling it right now. They're just chokers. They won't win the prelim. I think they'll play the winner of Brisbane and Melbourne. Yeah, they're not beating any of those teams. You know what? They would maybe beat Brisbane. I reckon Melbourne would beat Geelong though. But that's my prediction. I reckon it'll probably be a Sydney-Melbourne grand final, actually. And then hopefully Melbourne can rectify. If it was Melbourne-Sydney grand final, I wouldn't really care who wins. But yeah, hopefully Melbourne can play better and we can get a nice neutral grand final. Obviously, my preference is for Collingwood to win it, but speaking from, a realism point of view, I like to think I'm not biased when it comes to sports. Yeah, anyone who uses sports, there's nothing fucking more annoying than talking to a cunt he just thinks his team's the best every time. Every loss they take is because of some bullshit reason. Every player they have is underrated. Those guys are the most fucking annoying people to talk to. Like, if you're a Geelong fan right now, I'm not taking away that you won. You guys won, okay? That's it. It is what it is. You guys won, we lost. But you can't deny that the umpiring was very bad, but you guys know what I'm talking about? Their player would clearly be pinned holding the ball, and then they'd be like, what the fuck's all fucking holding the ball, cunt? Those motherfuckers. Hate those motherfuckers. Arsenal beat Fulham 2-1. Did I talk about this? I don't think so. Bro, Mitrovic is a fucking beast, man. That cunt's so fucking good. Actually, I think I would have spoken about this last week. But Arsenal beat Fulham 2-1. It was a convincing victory. We deserved to win. The goal we conceded was a mistake by Gabriel, so it was really good to see him score the winner. What is what it is. The game against Aston Villa, I didn't watch because I was on the plane. And I swore I was going to watch every Arsenal game this season, but I was on the plane, so I couldn't watch it. I saw the first 10 minutes. I missed all the goals. But speaking of poor refereeing, the goal we conceded should not have been allowed. Like, that's so clearly infringement on the keeper. It should have been that shouldn't have been a goal at all. If you don't know, like, if you guys are not a soccer fan, it's like basically Aston Villa took a corner and our keeper was just boxed out. Let's say there's a guy like here, just fucking. Sorry for audio listeners. It's just like, imagine a box out in basketball. That's what happens to our goalkeeper. I don't think Saka's foul was a penalty. I thought it was the right call. I thought Saka dived, and he made it obvious he dived. So I'm happy with them not giving that, as long as they're consistent. But Arsenal are playing Man United at Old Trafford tonight. This is a huge game, right? Because this makes or breaks the narrative. City drop points. If we win, we go 4 points ahead of City. If we win, we're the real deal. We beat Manchester United at Old Trafford. If we draw, that's a good result, a draw at Old Trafford. I do think we should be winning there. I think we're much stronger than they are. But if we lose, I think it's going to really test like our character as a team, because then everyone's going to pounce on pretenders. We've only played, poor teams in the first 5-6 games, whatever the fuck. But I reckon Arsenal 3-1, even 3-0. I think we're going to pants United at Old Trafford, and it's going to be amazing. But yeah, moving on to the last topic before I wrap this podcast up, I'm going to talk about House of the Dragon, episode 2. So if you haven't seen episode 2, don't click off, because there's going to be spoilers. Viserys is a dumb cunt, eh? That was so... What happened in this episode? Let me think, guys. I'm just trying to get my thoughts in order so I can entertain you guys. Okay. Why am I blanking right now? There was a weird scene with them with Viserys, almost being betrothed to the 12-year-old girl, and she was just so much younger than him. Oh, let's talk about that actually. So there's a scene, basically, if you don't give a fuck, the king of Westeros, Viserys Targaryen, his wife just died in the first episode, and he doesn't have a male heir, so everyone's like, cunt, you got to remarry to get a male heir. And he's like, who should I marry? And this dude's like, marry my daughter. Sorry. But the daughter's like 12. She's like this tall. There's a scene where they're like walking together, and she's like, oh, my mum said I wouldn't have to bed you till I'm 14. And it's just a fucked up scene, right? But then there was like an article in Lad Bible that was like, people are disgusted by Game of Thrones romance plot. And it was like, yeah, that's what you were meant to feel. You were meant to feel disgusted. Because then what happens is the king gets married to his hand's daughter, who's his daughter's best friend. Right? And it's like the lesser of two evils type of thing. But the way it's presented, this is why it's such a well-written show and why George R.R. Martin's the GOAT. The logical decision is for him to marry the 12-year-old due to the ramifications it has for the realm. It keeps everyone happy. It unites different families and stuff like that. But it's fundamentally and morally wrong to marry the fucking 12-year-old. So he marries the 15-year-old, which is like, if you're watching, you're like, oh, that was the right choice to make. But then that just pisses a bunch of people off. So, I'm kind of disappointed, right? Because I think they're going to have flash forwards with the older actors soon. But the cast, like Millie Alcock and whoever plays Alicent, are so good. So it's kind of like, I feel like I'm going to miss out, So, yeah, it's just shitty. But I'm reading the book now, so because I just want to find out what happens. Because I accidentally read how the show ends. I accidentally read, what happens. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just read the books so that I can get here faster. But I'm still going to enjoy the show. It's just nice to see some good Game of Thrones. Like, you know how good it is? It's like, I don't give a fuck about real world politics, but Game of Thrones politics, I'm like, oh my God. Do you know what this means? Yeah. So this wasn't a comprehensive review. I'm feeling dizzy. I need to sleep. If you know how to get a good sleep, please let me know, because I'm so tired. But I'm going to wrap up the podcast. Hopefully this is out on time. It should be. But yeah, thanks for listening.